So this video is why men love playing as girls. Ooh, woo. I love that it's coming from the dude that has an anime waifu as his mascot. This is by Noctopus, which is a VTuber. Some of you guys might know. I think I've rated Noctopus before. I know Noctopus for a while now. Get cozy, get comfortable, video time.
As much as I've loved pretending to be an anime girl for the past 2 years, I think it's finally time that I did a face reveal. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, it's me, Noctopus. It was always a matter of time
Face reveal? I was not expecting this. This is shocking.
before I got rid of that stupid VTuber avatar.
Yeah.
I've always hated
VTubers are so cringe.
VTubers anyway.
Damn, Noctopus is pretty good looking.
Alright, fine, this isn't actually me. This is Pinoy.
We got you baited. We got you baited, guys. It's not him. It's not him.
My editor. But do you see how it made you feel? Betrayed? Shocked even? I felt that exact same way when I confessed my undying love for a cat girl in Final Fantasy XIV, only for it to be a 43-year-old dude living in Nebraska. But the question is, why do men play as female characters? As an avid girl chooser myself,
See, I always thought men chose to play as girls because, excuse me, they are cuter. And most of the males in video games are like macho, boring dudes. Unless it's a pretty boy, like I will choose Nier over any NPC ever.
wondered this question for a long time. My main cover-up story was that girls have a smaller hitbox, and while that 100%
That's not, that 100% is a lie. And anybody who says they play as a girl for a hitbox is 100% looking at the girl's butt cheeks.
is totally not cope and very true, it's not the main reason. To get to the bottom of this, I created a community poll to ask you, my subscribers who were specifically guys, one simple question. Do you prefer to play as male or female? Over 2,000
I have to confess to you guys. When I play Genshin, I actually chose the male character. I chose the male in Genshin. I do not regret anything.
of you answered. The results were not really that surprising considering my type of audience, but over 70% of you said that you picked girls.
You thought hitbox boobs would increase hitbox? No, that's not much of a confession. What are you talking about? Everybody chooses the girl in Genshin. That is a huge confession. But also, I don't even play as the main character in Genshin anymore, and I don't even play Genshin. Not only cuter in WoW, every armor set just looks better on the female models. That just seems like they don't know how to fashion men well.
Girls. But not only that, a ton of you wrote paragraph-long answers in the replies that I 100% always definitely read. Let's start with the most obvious answer of all. Men just like seeing sexy girls when they grind out thousands of hours of gaming.
I wish that was me!
And don't get me wrong, this isn't completely untrue.
You know what's funny though? It's so funny that the popcorn's really salty at the bottom. That whenever the game forces you to play as a lady, people get butthurt because they're like, oh, I don't want to play as a woman. But if the game allows you to choose between two, 90% of the audience picks the girl. So, people just want a choice. The thing is, I think that's sometimes why I pick the male characters, because sometimes I find the male characters, their armor is just more cool. But I usually pick depending on what I feel like. Also, if you guys ever played Sunset Overdrive, the male voice is hot. And if you know, you know. And yet I still played as the girl. I don't know why.
If Blizzard puts one of my favorite characters in a bikini, then it's my obligation as a player to give them $20 for it. For the most part, it would seem like guys just fit the overall stereotype of objectifying women, but then it falls apart.
You know what's funny about this picture too? This is objectifying women. This is fantasizing men for men. Because this is what men want, and this is what men want. This both is what men want. This is everything that men want. They want to look like this, and they want to be with this. And yet they say women want this. And it's like, I have never wanted a tiger head on a Chad body in my whole entire life. I've never wanted this.
For certain situations, like, why...
Oh, it's a jaguar. Sorry, my bad. My bad. It's a jaguar. I correct myself. You're right. It is a jaguar. I forgot that jaguars can have dots too. I'm just saying. Nothing's wrong with making a game that's male fantasy, but when people are like, oh, but that's what women want, it's like, excuse me, are you a woman that's into man? Are you a man into man? Who are you vouching for? If you're a cis straight dude, you can't tell me what I'm into. You don't know what I like, okay? And it's for near replicant.
Would a guy pick a female character in an MMO where you start out in the ugliest clothing imaginable? Or why
so
would someone
ugly.
commit to an entire playthrough just to play as a non-sexualized girl character? This isn't saying that aesthetics of things like character skins aren't important to players, but that being the only reason isn't telling the full story. So that would lead us to another possible answer. Girl characters just have way more clothing options. It's no secret that one of the core experiences in
Is that true, guys? Do you find that girl characters have more clothing options?
gaming is being able to make your character look as cool as possible. And based on the replies to the poll I mentioned earlier in the video, over 30% of you mentioned that you play girls because the clothing options just look better. This makes sense, considering that for a long time game companies were too scared to experiment with what kinds of skins belong to what character.
That's interesting. I guess that makes sense because they feel like women can just have a variety of clothing. Well, then it's like dark and brooding, no colors, only black and gray. I think I tend to choose male characters because it seems easier to make a butt ugly widow. If your goal is to make a butt ugly widow, let's go. Do that. I like that's 100%. I feel like there's some people that want to make their character as ugly as possible to be a troll, and some people that want to like almost like self-insert. And I think that's why a lot when you play as a guy and you're a guy, you self-insert. You know what I mean? Don't have to be more quality, but more like fashionable options. I agree. I feel like there's not enough customization. Let's riot for more customization. Plus, I like the cute girl characters. We all love the cute girl characters. I feel like Western games, the males tend to be very boring and cookie cutter. Like, I'm an action hero. I'm an American war hero. You know? And so I could see if you're playing like a Western game, the female character could be a lot prettier and outfit-wise as well. Can you guys hear me? I hope my voice mod is not too weird. I know there's like 4 eyeballs looking at you right now. So you got my boobly eyes, my eyes up here, and you got his eyes, and then her eyes down there. So many eyeballs.
Typically, male character outfits tend to be big and bulky, and female characters have historically been a bit more revealing and aesthetically pleasing. Lara Croft versus Nathan Drake, Cammy versus Ryu, and the most sexist case of all, Pac-Man versus Mrs.
But look how pretty Mrs. Pac-Man looks.
If you think back to when some MMOs were first released, like Final Fantasy XIV, Blade and Soul, Black Desert Online, they all had or still have gender-locked clothing. This means that your options for outfits are split from the very moment you start playing. So unless I'm feeling like playing a big burly warrior, of course I'm going to pick something more aesthetically pleasing.
That's true. Like, I agree with that.
To give game companies some credit where it's due, it's becoming more and more common now for characters to wear whatever they want. For example, in Final Fantasy XIV, they recently made it to where you can live out your dream of being a giant, manly orc in a bunny suit. But until that line keeps getting blurred.
Let's go. That's what you need. You should be able to wear whatever clothing piece that they have, regardless of gender, because it looks so amazing.
I'd like to quote someone from my comment section. If I'm going to be staring at an ass of a character for the next 100 hours, it should at least be one I like looking at. And while I wholeheartedly agree with this statement, there's something missing. A real nail in the coffin to put this debate to rest, you know? And I think I might have found it. A single name kept popping up while I was researching for answers. Proteus. And what do...
See, this is the question. If the two main characters are male or female, but they're both ugly ass people, like I'm talking about like hideous, like only the face a mom could love. And no offense to people that have faces that are like, there's not trying to be offensive or anything like that. But like if the two main characters were very ugly looking, which would you pick? Would you pick ugly he or ugly her? Like I'm talking about flat ass, like a Hank Hill butt. Would you still pick the her or the he? Because that makes you wonder. If you would pick the he, does that mean you only pick the her if she's pretty? But if the her was ugly, you wouldn't want to play as an ugly trick? And that is weird. I said she had a Hank Hill butt. I said she has a Hank Hill butt, okay? Which means a flat pancake butt, okay? What if she's like a really pretty face, but like a Hank Hill butt? Interesting. That's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. If there was no difference between the two characters story-wise, I would pick whoever has the nicer voice, to be honest. Have you never heard that saying? A face only a mother could love? Apparently fan service for women is surprisingly counterintuitive. Mass Effect 2 tried to make one, or rather the choosing a human muscle brick and test women choose a sensitive looking thin character. This is what I'm saying, Rocket. People don't understand. We don't understand sexuality as much as they think they do. A lot of women don't talk about what they find attractive. And so, or people just don't listen. People don't listen. We have been saying, hey, we find Spider-Man a lot hotter than Superman. And everybody's just like, Superman's so hot, right? They're not listening.
People named Proteus and girl avatars have in common. They're both usually old men. But Proteus wasn't any old man. He was a Greek god of the seas who could predict the future and transform into whatever he wanted. Okay, cool, but what does that have to do with anything? Hold on, let me explain. Let's look at a scientific phenomenon known as the Proteus effect. This is a name given to an occurrence when a person's behavior in a virtual world transforms due to the characteristics of their avatar. The behavior changes because the person has a pre-existing knowledge or expectation of how those players online act. This might be kind of complex, so let me give an example. A toxic League of Legends player who typically plays more aggressive hypercarries gets to play a support character. This player might subconsciously start embodying more stereotypical feminine traits, like being more cooperative or empathetic with their teammates, because that's how they associate that side of the player base in their brain. This doesn't usually mean gameplay, by the way. This is more of a social thing. But this effect is real and has scientific evidence through it through hundreds of research papers. Some of the students at Nottingham Trent University found that men often associate positive feelings towards women avatars, such as how attractive or aesthetically pleasing they are, making them more likely to choose female characters. Game companies already know this, which explains why you can always buy sexy outfits with microtransactions. It's not really that shocking when you think about it. I mean, what?
Guys. The secret is out. Sex sells. Sex sells. That's the truth. Sex sells.
Just expect them not to make money? Complain about it all you want, but people are still buying it. But hold on, that's not the only reason. The Proteus effect also explains how men typically gravitate towards playing women in multiplayer games because they expect more positive social outcomes. If I play as a girl in this MMO, not only will I be more aesthetically pleasing, but players are way more willing to help me out and give me lots of gold. To back this,
I think that is true though. Because if you pretend to be a girl on the internet and guys, and you think you're a girl and you're playing a girl avatar, they 100% will want to treat you nicely because they think that they can get some, which is a sad mentality. You should treat people nicely because you want to be friends with them. But that is 100%. I believe that would be true.
This point up, I found another study from the University College of London who discovered that players who use women avatars with more detailed clothing not only have more social interactions, but more positive social experiences in general. Now, I know this is kind of shocking because the mere thought of having a girl on your team is enough for any average Valorant player to have a mental breakdown.
Because the only thing women are good for is cooking, cleaning, sucking, and
but overall, it seems like...
Ooh, I'm actually really bad at cleaning because, like, I forget the laundry in the wash so often that I have to double wash it. So,
Playing multiplayer games as a more feminine avatar can lead to a less lonely gaming experience in general. But at the end of the day, these kinds of things all play a part into a bigger overall narrative. Yeah, the Proteus effect...
I'm a fantastic cooker. Anything you can imagine, I can figure out how to cook. I'm like goated at cooking. I can bake, I can cook, I can flambe. I am like, but I don't do it. I don't do it. I have ADHD. I don't do any of it.
That can offer some answers, but it's not this magical solution to the question. Personally, I think when a person plays a game, they want to immerse themselves as much as possible. For some people, that's making their character look just like them in real life. And for others, it's being something completely different. Tons of people use games as a form of escapism. I mean, if you're a big, manly dude working a grueling 8-hour shift getting yelled at by customers all day, why would anyone blame you for coming home and role-playing as a cute cat girl? Or
I agree with that. I agree with that strongly. I feel like everybody has different reasons they pick a character and play a certain game, and you shouldn't be judged if you... To be honest, if you want to play as a cute, attractive girl because you find her attractive, there's nothing wrong with that. I am super excited for Chainsaw Lollipop Girl game that's coming out soon, the remake, because I want to be a cute anime girl with a chainsaw, because that's what I want to be.
Or maybe for you, it's a deeper and more complex reason, like personally identifying with the character, using it to express something you couldn't in your daily life. There are literally hundreds of reasons to answer this question. So the truth is, as unsatisfying as this might be, it's not actually something that can be directly solved. Thanks for watching. If you like this, leave a comment and tell me about what makes you like playing certain characters.
Because the only thing women are good for is cooking, cleaning, sucking, and
Hi, moms. What did we guys think? What do we think? What do we think? I think it's definitely an interesting thought. 100% the video is clickbaity. I mean, all YouTube videos are clickbaity. It's like, click here for free donuts. But I think in the lesson is that we need better male characters. We need better male characters. That's the lesson. We need hotter with cooler outfits that can wear bunny outfits so we can all have more of a 50-50 split. Yes, free donuts.